Hi there, Lake City Adventures. So I thought it was time for a series like What Does Buffy Do When Gary is at the Frozen Four hockey tournament with his buddies? And I have, I don't know, 3 full days at least just to be able to do whatever project I want around here. And a lot of stuff I've been like wanting to do for a long time, and I hopefully will get it done. When I go up to our property, I put a couple of rocks in my car and then I bring it down, and I've tried to finish this. I've had this ongoing project for several years that I wanted to be surrounded by rock and a little bit more protected from the deer. This side is not protected at all from the deer. This side is protected really well. I did this last year, and yeah, it's worked really well. So that is all good. This side, I have a couple of raspberries in there. I think last year I did a little walkthrough of this area. I had purchased something like 17 raspberry canes, and I planted them all between this bed and this bed and this bed. And I think I counted 3 that actually came up last year. I'm going to give them all through this spring and summer, and then next year I'll know what is actually going to take hold. One thing about raspberries is you don't need more than 1 or 2 plants really, because they spread, once they're established, they spread really quickly. I think I have a good chance of having raspberries all down this rock area, which would be awesome. I would completely welcome it. But it will take several years, so we'll see how that goes. The sun is bright, but it is so beautiful out here, and it's still wet and muddy and very much in winter mode. But part of my project list is garden cleanup. And I don't like to clean up too early, but I definitely don't clean up in the fall. So there's a happy medium between me letting the insects like hatch and their, I don't know, larvae hatch, and just getting the garden cleaned. I'm only going to wait a couple of weeks for natural hatch, and then I am going to get the garden cleaned up. This strawberry is awake. It is very much new growth. That strawberry is awake. This one is awake, which means I should probably get these leaves off of them. There is a small succulent here that's waking up. Isn't that beautiful? Looks like little eyes looking up at me. Look! Aren't they cute? They're waking up. Hi, Farmer Smurf. Are you waking up? Farmer Smurf has a super cool shelf to work on right below this amazing rock. That is quartz and sphalerite and zinc, I'm sure. That's all quartz, really. See that stripe there? That has pyrite in it. Iron pyrite. I put all the pretty ones on top. This one's special. This one was given to me by a special friend, and she told me that that is a tool. Like a, ancient tool. Very cool. This one I picked up because it looks like a meteor. It's awesome. Plus, I love rocks that have holes in them. I call them hagstones, but look inside this hole. I don't know if you can appreciate it in the camera, but there are crystals in there. And there are crystals in that hole too. Not sure where my dad gets all of his stuff, but he had this cool stone lying around, which has a cat face and a human face. I painted this peacock at my Aunt Karen's Sweetie Zoo at one of her rock painting classes. And look, poking out here is another one I did at Karen's Sweetie Zoo. It's my little turtle. I think he's been out here for 4 years. Look, he's pretty grown in. Can't wait to show you Karen's rock classes. Somebody that knows, will you tell me, is this periwinkle or vinkavine? Or is that the same thing? It looks like it survived the winter completely. It came out from underneath the snow with green, like nice and, you know, sturdy leaves. Got some sage waking up. This is a whole bucket basically of sage. Shout out to In My Gardener. This is my first year trying their trifecta fertilizer, 5-10-4 NPK, nitrogen, phosphate, potassium. And I just watched an episode of In My Gardeners on YouTube this morning, and he told me that I needed to generously fertilize my spring strawberry bed. So I am going to do that now. This is what this fertilizer looks like. It's like there's a lemon peel or something in there. Like, this is natural. They make it. Yeah, I'm going to spread this just around the bases of these plants, these strawberry plants that are coming in. Apparently, they need a lot of energy to come back from overwintering. Do you see that fungus, the mycelium? This is one of the reasons why this garden bed does so well, because there's so much fungus and mycelium, and I get little mushrooms that grow in here, and I just think that is really showing that there's some good soil health, and that the choppings that I let chop and drop last fall are working. That is pretty great dirt. Look at that. Anybody who loves dirt would appreciate this, and oh my gosh, it smells so good. So just earthy and amazing. Things Buffy does while Gary's at the Frozen Four, hiking up to the hidden treasure, because today my dad and my Uncle Robert and their longtime friend are gonna go explore some of the trails on our property. So I'm gonna tag along. But first, Hobo Creek. I'm gonna get a nice liter of Hobo Creek water and then head up to hike behind those guys who are actually going up on ATVs, so I'll be a little slower. Look at this. My dad, my uncle, and their longtime friend are heading up on the ATVs, and I'm gonna hike up because I don't like riding up those scary roads. Yeah, just gonna look around, crack some rocks, and just be with those guys because I feel like it's a fun day out. Oh, I'm out of breath. Trail hiking, and it's beautiful, steep. The boys have hit a literal roadblock, but thankfully they brought a chainsaw. So, they just cut the tree out of the way. Look at them. Brothers, good buddies, and their support crew taking up the rear, the caboose. Smart to bring the chainsaw.
Yeah,
Did you cut it?
I didn't.
Don't fall off that edge. Oh!
Oh.
There's the hidden treasure, sitting on that cliffside. Can you imagine what that looked like in like 1889 in its prime? I bet it was just loud and big. Well, we had all those trams coming up the hill right here, going up and down. Had some trees in the road, but really, we're just enjoying each other, time in the sun, and this amazing backdrop. My dad and my Uncle Robert hanging out like this on a day like today. It's pretty awesome. I'm glad they still get to do that. On the list of things that happen while Gary's at the Frozen Four, I have decided that I am moving the heaviest piece of cast iron stove part I could ever imagine. by myself. But I can do it, rolling it, moving it. But my gosh, that thing is heavy. There she is. Now this bottom and this top go together, and I'm gonna put them together in a nice little bird water feature on the corner over here. And I'm really excited because then I'm gonna use the ground that stove is on, and I am going to put down cardboard and make another raised bed in that corner. This is the creating. Look at all the beautiful garden bobs and bits. But I've got to just make a more living wall back here. Rocks. Heavy rocks. Big, awesome, heavy rocks. Rock wall / raised and lower garden beds. Got to go all the way around. True to my style, though, they won't be normal. They will have little treasures and whatnot in every little nook and cranny. On the list of things to do while Gary is at the Frozen 4, build a rock wall and completely remodel the retaining wall in your garden. It's going to be amazing. Right now, I'm working on, so see this wood I showed you last year that I found? It needs to be in kind of moist and shade. So I'm working on this area back here underneath the aspen tree. It gets water because it's at the bottom of the hill. It also gets shade. And so I think I'm going to cover the grass with cardboard, pin it down. I have a bag of topsoil that I got last year I'm going to put down. And then I'll probably add soil from pots that I empty in the next, I don't know, couple of weeks. So shaping up. This is yours, Willow. I'm only keeping him safe. Tools and materials acquired. I've got hammer, carpet knife, landscape, little hammer down pokies. I've got cardboard, various sizes. I've already taken the tape off, and I'm gonna try to choke out some of this grass back here before I put rocks around and dirt on top. See how it goes. Well, this is how it turned out. So we'll see how the cardboard does. That was just an extra bag of soil I had. I just threw in there with some rocks, and yeah, I'm looking forward to planting in this nice little garden space. And I have a lucky little gnome in there too. This is what's left to do. I'm thinking about taking this tub and actually putting it into the wall and incorporating it in the wall. In fact, I think I am going to do that. And I'm also going to do that with this one. Just build them and incorporate them into the design of this retaining wall. I'm pretty stoked about it because I can see it in my mind's eye and it looks beautiful. We work on planting a tree, a flowering almond right here at our cabin with a purple door. I'm underground today working on a little freshening up project of our fluorescent rocks. The shadows are kind of brutal, doesn't matter because I've got the light. But just took the fluorescent rocks out of their display, and I'm about to just freshen this up. It's a beautiful display. We don't need to change it. We just need to freshen it up and make it more vivid. This is the best I can do underground with the light. Yeah, I just came up to the mine. I'm going to stay at the cabin tonight, but I came up to the mine and came into the back by myself and closed the front door, and it's just, it is awesome. It's awesome under here. It's like ultimate grounding. All I can hear are the drips of water from the ceiling in the back. And that's it. It's awesome. Giving Samuel here just a little wipe down. Weird video, but part of the job. How cool is this? I just came out from working underground for a while. It was actually, the sun was shining when I went in, and now And I'm staying up here tonight, so I'm just kind of excited to see this weather and know that it's bringing much needed moisture. And yeah, and I don't have anywhere to be. Yay! Got some good work done inside. Getting closer. Okay, got some paint on. Gonna let this dry overnight, and then we'll go from there. All the fluorescent rocks are over here, kind of chilling. Got some platforms. Unfortunately, this spray can had a busted doinker. I dropped this guy and I'm thinking I broke that doinker. So this is a full can of spray paint and I'm not quite sure I can use it. I'm gonna take it out and see if my dad knows how to fix it. If there's a way to use it. I doubt it. It's a bummer.
Hey guys, future Gary here. So as we're wrapping up this video about what Buffy does when Gary's out of town, I had to add one last little extra bonus footage piece. So there's one more thing that Buffy does when Gary's out of town that didn't quite show up throughout her clips while I was out of town. So let me walk over to the scene of the crime, so to speak, and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm shooting through our patio sliding glass door of our bedroom. And it's really windy and rainy outside, so I'm doing this from inside. But there I am, minding my own business, sitting on the couch watching the Masters during the Frozen Four, when the phone rings and I get a call from an absolutely frantic Buffy. I thought for sure that somebody had died, there was a disaster, the house burned down, we were at war. I couldn't tell what was going on. Well, it turns out that Miss Buffy, while I was gone in St. Louis, took a shower, put on nothing but a towel, and decided to walk outside to enjoy the evening on her little back patio porch here off of our bedroom. As you can see, there's really no neighbors that can kind of see anything from back here. It's a very private area. Well, right here is the latch to our sliding glass door, and we noticed a few weeks ago that latch would spontaneously lock on its own after you went outside and closed the door behind you, thereby trapping you outside on the back porch. So this happened once, and I had to come rescue Buffy and let her in, and she thought that I was messing with her and I'd locked her out, but I did not. This latch was broken. So while I'm in the Frozen Four, hundreds of miles away, Buffy gets out of the shower and, wearing nothing but a towel, walks out onto this porch, closes the door behind her, and lo and behold, it latches and locks her out on this deck. Her and the cat, by the way. Now, this was early April, and you saw the previous clips with the snowstorms. This is not a warm time of year. So she's out there trying to get the door open, can't get it open. Starts to realize that this is going to be a really significant problem. Like, she would freeze to death out on the deck if she was stuck out here all night long. So she starts screaming at the top of her lungs for help, yelling in all directions. And again, this is our off season. A lot of the people around here are second homeowners. It's quiet. There's nobody here. So there's nobody to hear her at all. Literally more than an hour out here on this deck, yelling for help with no response. She then starts to figure out and see if she can climb over the edge of this deck and get down without hurting herself. She even thinks about tying blankets together and a sheet together to make a rope to lower herself down off this deck. And there's really no way to do that. And thank goodness she didn't, because she would have broken something for sure. So eventually she comes to the conclusion that she can't get down without hurting herself. She can't get in and she can't call for help. Of course, she doesn't have her phone with her. So the only option at this point is that she takes a rock that is sitting out here on the back patio and starts bashing it against the sliding glass door until the glass shatters. And I'll put some photos in of the video here to show you what this looked like. But it's this tempered glass. It shatters into millions of tiny little pieces all over the deck, all over the house. And she is able to get inside. And as I'm shooting through this door right now, and I said this is our sliding glass door, this is currently our sliding plastic door. As you can see, this glass is completely shattered and broken all the way down and around. And we just have some temporary plastic here to keep the weather out, or we're trying to figure out how to fix this door or replace this door. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that the viewers of our channel understand that we are honest with them and we don't paint this rosy picture that everything was amazing while Gary was away, because this event happened as well. But anyway, I am grateful that she was able to get inside safely. We can always replace the door, but we wouldn't be able to replace broken bones and broken necks. So I'm glad that she didn't try to jump or climb down using a series of ropes and blankets. Thanks for joining us today on Lake City Adventures. Thanks for checking out Buffy's adventures while I was out at the Frozen 4. If you haven't seen the Frozen 4 video, I'll link that down below. And stay tuned. I know that Buffy's currently working on a longer video that's going to be an update of the garden and the indoor plants from the greenhouse and the seedlings, how they're coming along, and how the outside garden is coming along. These clips that you're seeing today were from early to mid-April, and as of today, it's May 8th. And so things have changed a lot, and it is significantly greening up outside. Her plants are going nuts. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you next time.